Hey everyone! Welcome to Update X24H, your go-to channel for the latest news, hottest dramas, breaking stories, and all the buzz from the world of entertainment. We're here to keep you updated, entertained, and always in the loop. Hit that subscribe button and join our growing family, because here at Update X24H, we bring you the news that matters, the drama you love, and the stories you can't miss. Thanks for being part of our community. Let's stay connected, stay updated, and keep the good vibes rolling. They didn't arrive together. They didn't even pose for a photo, but somehow they stole the entire show. When Lei and Zhao Lusi walked into the same party, separately, fans around the world held their breath. What happened next? It wasn't loud. It wasn't obvious. But it was unforgettable. Under the shimmering lights of Shanghai's most exclusive fashion soiree, a quiet storm was brewing. One that no one had planned but everyone felt. It was a night designed to celebrate elegance and luxury, yet somehow it became the stage for something far more magnetic. As the city's elite gathered, conversations buzzed, champagne glasses clinked, and camera flashes captured glittering gowns and polished tuxedos. And then, without announcement or fanfare, Lei arrived. Poised, understated, and effortlessly sharp in a tailored black suit. His presence stirred a low hum of energy across the room. Minutes later, Zhao Lusi made her entrance. She moved like silver light, graceful, warm, and luminous in a soft, flowing gown that turned heads not with extravagance, but with quiet power. The crowd noticed, and so did he. Though they didn't walk in together, the air between them, across the room, shifted instantly. It wasn't just the fans watching. It was stylists pausing mid-conversation, photographers subtly adjusting their focus, fellow celebrities exchanging knowing glances. There was no grand display, no overt interaction, and yet, their individual presence felt strangely incomplete without the others. It was like watching two verses of the same song, echoing in different corners of a grand ballroom. The anticipation wasn't built on spectacle. It was built on silence. It was in the way he looked across the room just a second too long. The way she smiled gently while adjusting her hair. In a night curated for perfection, this unspoken connection, raw, unplanned, real, was the only moment that felt alive. They didn't need a spotlight. Their gravity found each other and the world noticed. It happened not in the center of the spotlight, but on the quiet edge of the celebration, near the dessert table of all places. In a room filled with curated beauty and controlled chaos, the most powerful moment of the night unfolded like a secret only a few were lucky enough to witness. Lei, ever composed, stood just a breath away from Zhao Lusi. She turned slightly, perhaps to reach for something sweet, and there it was, a pause in time that needed no words. He leaned in, not too close, just enough to speak so that no one else could hear. She listened and then smiled. Not the kind of smile you offer out of politeness, but the kind that slips out when someone says something you didn't expect, something that touches you. It was a moment suspended between restraint and intimacy, brief enough to miss, yet full enough to remember. They didn't hold hands. They didn't pose. But in that quiet exchange there was something deeply human. Two people existing in a shared breath, a shared look, a shared silence. Others moved around them, unaware or perhaps pretending not to notice. But to those watching closely, the air between them crackled with something unspoken. Maybe it was history. Maybe it was possibility. Maybe it was something neither of them could name. But for that fleeting instant they were not actors, not celebrities, not figures in a public fantasy. They were just two people whose paths had once again softly collided. And somehow, in the understated nature of that interaction, the emotion felt more real than any scripted moment ever could. Long before the night had ended, the ripple had already become a wave. Across time zones and languages, the smallest gestures between Lei and Zhao Lusi lit a fire that raced through the hearts of fans around the globe. Screens everywhere flickered to life. Twitter threads spun, TikTok clips looped in slow motion, fan pages flooded with screenshots, blurry captures, and endless speculation. But this wasn't just noise. It was collective emotion, born from years of watching, hoping, and believing in something more between these two stars. For many, the moment wasn't about proof. It wasn't about confirming a relationship or dissecting body language. It was about recognition. The recognition of something familiar, something precious. Fans saw not just a man leaning in or a woman smiling. They saw the weight of shared history, the continuation of an emotional storyline they quietly carried since Love Like the Galaxy. Their reactions were not just excitement, but resonance. From Seoul to Paris, Jakarta to Los Angeles, people felt seen in that subtle exchange. A fan in Thailand posted a letter written in their native language, describing how Wu Lei's quiet gaze mirrored the way they once looked at someone they had loved in silence. Another from Brazil created an animation of the interaction, calling it a story in 1 second. These weren't just reactions. They were reflections of longing, of nostalgia, of connection. In a digital world that moves too fast, this tiny human moment slowed people down. It reminded them that sometimes what matters most isn't what's said out loud, but what's deeply felt and quietly shared. Wu Lei and Zhao Lusi didn't just appear together. They ignited something bigger than themselves, a storm made not of noise but of meaning. It wasn't what they did, it was what they didn't do that held everyone captive. In a room where nothing could stay hidden for long, Wu Lei and Zhao Lusi never once stood side by side. They didn't pose for a photo together, didn't share a toast or make a statement. But the silence between them was filled with meaning, and for those who knew how to look, the clues were everywhere, soft, almost invisible, yet undeniably present. During a speech by one of the brand's ambassadors, Wu Lei stood still, composed, yet his eyes wandered. Not to the cameras, not to the crowd, but toward a distant corner where Zhao Lusi stood. Her posture poised, her expression unreadable. She didn't look back right away, but when she did, there was a flicker, quick, instinctive, and impossibly intimate. As if they were speaking in a language only the two of them understood. Later, a blurry video surfaced. A jacket dark, unmistakably Wu Lei's, being draped over someone just off-frame as the evening air grew cool. The speculation was immediate. The gesture was subtle, gentle, and unrehearsed. Whether it truly was for Zhao Lusi or not, the symbolism wasn't lost on anyone. There's a kind of connection that doesn't ask for attention, that exists in the margins of moments. Their silence spoke louder than words, not because it confirmed anything, but because it left just enough space for wonder. In every sidelong glance, in every near-miss movement, there was a suggestion of something once shared, or perhaps something quietly unfolding again. The beauty of their story isn't in clarity. It's in the mystery they allow us to feel. They were never just co-stars. From the moment Wu Lei and Zhao Lusi first appeared together on screen in Love Like the Galaxy, something shifted, not just in the story they told, but in how audiences around the world felt it. Their chemistry was effortless, but it wasn't loud. It was patient, emotional, and deeply human. In a sea of performances, theirs felt lived in, as if they weren't acting at all, but simply meeting each other again and again in different lifetimes. That's where the legacy of Xiaoli was born. Not in a single scene, but in everything unsaid between them. What made it linger was not only the beauty of their on-screen love story, but the way that story seemed to follow them off-screen. Every stolen glance at press conferences, every quiet exchange during interviews, every parallel post on social media. Fans noticed it all. But more than just noticing, they felt invited into something intimate. It wasn't about scandal or spectacle. It was about the hope that what felt real on screen might, just maybe, carry a spark of truth in reality. And so the Xiaoli phenomenon became more than a ship. It became a shared language, a kind of emotional shorthand between people across countries and cultures who believed in sincerity, in connection, in fate. Whether or not Wu Lei and Zhao Lusi have ever defined their relationship, what they created together left a mark that doesn't fade with time. It lives in the quiet loyalty of fans who return to their scenes not for nostalgia, but for comfort. 'Cause Xiaoli isn't just a memory, it's a feeling, a gentle reminder that some stories, once told with heart, never truly end. What if this wasn't just a chance encounter at a party? What if Wu Lei and Zhao Lusi's quiet presence at the same event wasn't simply a coincidence, but a careful decision, an intentional act of subtle connection, played out on a stage larger than any drama? Fans have long speculated about the unseen threads tying them together, but this time the energy felt different. It was less about what was visible and more about what lingered beneath the surface. A sense of renewal, of something just beginning to take form again. Some noticed their synchronized styling, his minimal black suit, her luminous silver gown. Refined yet strangely complementary, like two characters stepping out of different pages but meant to be in the same story. Others pointed to the music playing during their brief interaction, a soft instrumental piece that once played in the background of a pivotal scene in Love Like the Galaxy. Was it random? Or a quiet nod to the past? There are even whispers that both stars have recently signed brand deals with companies that are known collaborators. Could this be the beginning of a new professional era? A reunion not on screen but in campaigns, endorsements, or even a crossover project beyond acting? While nothing has been confirmed, the clues are starting to form a picture that fans are piecing together with care. And maybe that's the beauty of it. How something so small can stir such enormous curiosity. How a moment so quiet can echo so loudly across the world. The real story might not lie in what they show, but in what they choose to hold back. In this silence, fans find their own voice, their own hope, and their own belief that something deeply meaningful is unfolding. Slowly, purposefully, and just out of reach. Long after the lights dimmed and the music faded, the moment still lingered. Not on camera, but in the hearts of those who witnessed it. What Lei and Zhao Lusi offered that evening wasn't spectacle or certainty. It was something far more rare. A fleeting moment that allowed people to feel something genuine. Something that can't be scripted or staged. In a world that moves too fast, where stories are often reduced to headlines and viral clips, theirs was a quiet reminder that the most powerful connections are often the ones left undefined. What made the evening unforgettable wasn't simply their shared presence. It was the way they allowed space for emotion without forcing meaning. Their subtle interactions spoke to something many long for. A sense of understanding, familiarity, and unspoken warmth that doesn't need to be explained. Fans weren't reacting to a performance. They were responding to what felt like truth, to a moment that allowed them to dream again. It's easy to dismiss the hope of a reunion as wishful thinking. But the emotion behind that hope is real. It's built on years of watching two people grow on screen, off screen, and in the hearts of millions who found a reflection of themselves in their journey. Whether Lei and Zhao Lusi are simply friends or something more, they've become part of a shared story. One that crosses languages, cultures, and borders. One that reminds us all of the quiet power of chemistry, of memory, and of moments that pass like whispers but stay like echoes. And maybe that's the most beautiful part. Some stories don't need an ending. They only need to be felt. And this one, whatever it is still being written one glance, one breath, one silent beat at a time. If this story moved you, if you smiled, wondered, or got goosebumps, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more heartfelt updates on your favorite stars. Thank you so much for watching wherever you are in the world: Korea, Japan, the US, France, Singapore, Indonesia, or beyond. This is more than news. It's a journey we take together. Glowing star, follow, like, and join our growing community of dreamers, shippers, and storytellers. We'll be here every week, keeping the magic alive. Clapperboard, see you in the next video.